we talked about love, but we got to talk about one part that a lot of us don't necessarily like talking about, right? But it's important because a lot of us have been through it. We talk about heartbreak, right? Now, I've had my heart broken. I'm gonna be honest. I've also broken my share of hearts. But I think heartbreak is important for character development. But I think the biggest thing with heartbreak is that we got to remember that a lot of us have been through it. And back to that initial thing that I said earlier, with the whole He-Man Woman Hating Club or the Bitty Baby Mama Brigade, the reality is a lot of us have been through shit that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole to every other person that you meet out there in the world. You know what I mean? So let's talk about heartbreak, right? And sometimes you gotta break your own heart, because I've done that before, right? Let's just get into it. This piece is called Time. The hardest thing I ever did was the thing that I didn't do. I remember the night you said you loved me, and well, I didn't say those words back to you. It's not that I didn't have the courage to follow through, it's that if you only knew how much I cared about you, you'd understand how much it took to not tell you a lie that wasn't true. You see, lies are like lullabies, they only temporarily comfort you. And it felt selfish to sell you a dream knowing you have to wait to an ugly truth. The first time I asked you out, I knew you were different. And I know everyone thinks the person that they like is different, but I have some evidence to back my claim. Just give me a minute, I'm gonna present it. I invited you to a movie. And anyone who knows me knows that I hate movies. Actually, that's a lie, I made a mistake. It's not that I hate movies, I hate the idea of going to a movie on a first date. It's unoriginal and cliche, it's a concept that I despise. It's like wearing a sign that says I didn't even try. But this time was different. You see, this was when COVID first premiered its existence and we were all turned to social distance and everything was closed and there wasn't a theater around that would allow anyone admission. What you didn't know is, I had a friend who worked at a school and I asked if he could borrow a projector. In our defense, the professor was no longer using it for his lectures and they were gonna throw it out at the end of the semester. I remember going to Home Depot and buying a 50-foot long connector and being mindful to pack an extra sweater because even though it was summer, this is New York and I know we can't predict the weather. Wait, I'm getting off topic. Let me get back to the specifics. Remember, I started this by making a claim now and explain how she was different. You see, that date was a night that we'd never get to create. Because instead of meeting in a public place, in a public space, where most normal people would feel safe, she was like, you wanna come hang out on my porch? I make really good drinks. I remember thinking, it's kind of weird. I mean, I'm a stranger, shouldn't she be scared? I mean, after all, I am a stranger. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, what if she's crazy and I'm the one that's in danger? I remember telling myself, Chris, this is a night that you plan to live through. Under no circumstances do you eat or drink anything that this woman gives you. But truth be told, it ended up being a really dope night. We ordered tacos, we drank wine, and kind of basked in each other's light. And for a while, that was kind of how things went. I remember leaving work every day during my lunch break and having Uber Eats sent to her place so that way she and I could have lunch dates. Then there were days and nights and days and nights and days and nights. And we went on a picnic and you trusted me to ride you on the back of a motorbike. And then there were days and nights and days and nights and days and nights. It was 4th of July. I rented a rooftop so that way you and I could watch the fireworks light up the sky. You were surprised. And I remember me being surprised by the puppies that started to develop in the lower portion of your eyes. You were silent, which was odd because you were never, ever, ever quiet. You were always this combination of sarcasm and playful defiance. In fact, I used to joke that you had the spirit animal of a bronze bodega cat. But there you were, no words. So we just stood there surrounded by flashes of light and loud bursts. And then there were days and nights and days and nights. And well, you guys get the gist, and there's a time limit. But if there's one thing that I learned from time is that you should never, ever, ever be timid with your feelings. You see, time could be your best friend or your worst opponent. What I realize now is that it's not that I didn't love you. I didn't have the time to develop those feelings in that particular moment. I need you to know that you were perfect, that you were worth it. And I apologize if me being broken made you feel like you were worthless. You were never second string. You were more than just a summer fling. You were worthy of engagement rings and last names and a love forever lasting. If I could just say this one last thing. I hope that you never change. That's time. So, I think we went through the gauntlet, right? We went through the approach, we went through love, we went through heartbreak. But again, like we said, don't let that shape your experience moving forward, right? I hope that's something I can leave everybody with today. I'm gonna give out the rest of these flowers before I get off stage, but I appreciate y'all for listening. Enjoy the performances, Luna. Thank you for putting this together tonight. I'll see you next month. Thank you guys.